Transformation in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome in, welcome in. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. If you're a returning gazer, hi guys, how are you? I hope you're doing great. Just to forewarn you, there might be a little bit of chaos. There's a kitten out playing with the big cat, and sometimes ruckus ensues. So if you hear any strange noises or knocking around in the background or that bell, that's what's happening. Only one of them has a bell on right now. The little one. All right, ancestors, spirits, guides. What messages do you have? I pulled a card before the reading and it was embrace what is. I was thinking about the pendulum effect and that up and down motion and that coming together and splitting apart. And I also pulled assimilation, and parting of that is like pulling apart and coming together, like the separating could be. In my sphere, it was about scheduling, right? So sometimes when we talk about things like this in readings, our immediate thought is to go, pulling apart or taking together, something. Maybe you're taking apart anything, a toaster or whatever. And sometimes people think it's something within themselves or a dynamic between others, but sometimes it's even different than that, maybe more practical than that, like scheduling, right? Taking it apart and coming back together. It's like around here, the schedule is there isn't one, but there is. It's over a longer period of time. Sometimes I have 3 adult kids. Sometimes they're not adult, but close, right? Young adult, and sometimes they're all awake at night and sleep all day, and sometimes they are all awake all day and sleep all night, and it's not something that I as a parent can have much control over because of their ages, but they're getting to a point where they're going to have to be on a different schedule, and I'm like, wow, this is, because adapt to that. You know what I mean? So like embrace what is. There is a time, and I'm hearing there is a time and season for everything. Look, it just came out again. You guys saw how much I was shuffling that deck that whole time I was talking. Splitting apart, assimilation, amorality, the awareness and understanding which leads to acceptance of diversity. A unique insight opens the door to mutation. Line 6, fusion. I think we need to go from the bottom up. Proselytization. Can you guys see that word? See that line there? What a word. Line 2, self-defense. Line 3, individuality. Line 4, fragment. Line 5, assimilation. Line 6, fusion. Interesting, because line 5 is assimilation. It's gate 23, 2 plus 3 equals 5. And then there's assimilation, and it says elimination of intolerance. This is a strong message today. Embrace what is, assimilation, and elimination of intolerance. If I get upset all the time that the schedule isn't the same, or that I have to constantly keep adapting, then that's going to cause a lot of ruckus and more difficulty in not just my life, but the lives of the people around me, and understanding that it's just part of the process and part of the yearly cycle. The more long-term cycles, it's easier to integrate into, right? Assimilate, like, what is it? Assimilation. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. That's the Borg from Star Trek, and they were like these. If you're unfamiliar, it's a big cube that flies around in space, and it's like a giant database system, like maybe an artificial intelligence, and they turn humans or other living species into like biotech that is part of the larger whole. And when they're like parasitic when they fight another group of people, or they invade a planet or something, they take over all of the population and turn them into like these robotic zombies, right? So it's Sorry, we're not. Let's leave it. We're going to get one more. It's like we're assimilating the differences, right? The fusion of the different versions of individuality that are happening, and having a little bit of self-defense when I want to say, I keep wanting to, I know that's not the word, but I keep wanting to say here proselytizing. And proselytizing can be any, pushing any belief system. It's generally a certain kind of belief system that does it. But people do it. And that's the thing, is that it is about not trying to push our beliefs on to others, because we don't want them pushed onto us. This is a big deal. Like, and I mean, okay, yes, of course, in the greater scheme of things, in the real life, but I mean, I'm talking about like in your everyday, right? Let's get down to brass tacks. What is happening here? Embrace what is, and then the splitting apart, and now we have opposition coming out and waiting. The ability to preserve individual integrity through opposition to detrimental forces, energy necessary to combat fear, and know that life is of value. Wow. We're going to go from the bottom. Line 1, I'll show you what they are. Like, hey, ass, look, that's the fighter in there, that kitten. Line 1, qualification. Line 2, politeness. Line 3, alliance. Line 4, investigation. Line 5, alienation. Line 6, misunderstanding. The fighter, stubbornness, can overcome the odds. And then this is talking about the fixed pattern is sacred. All right. Again, wow. About these times, and they like talk about this 80-year cycles, right? That like, and 240-year cycles that we are in and approaching, and the intersection of those cycles astrologically, right? And historically. And we're aware that these things happen, and how do these things occur? How is it, what is the preventative maintenance to keep them from occurring? And it seems that it is not just human nature, but nature in general, so here we have the waiting line, gate 5. Hydrox, what's the matter? He's very talkative, and he's talking to the kitten. So the kitten is over here. She came underneath the chair. Everybody, this is Kibo. Say hi, everybody. She went to go poo. There she goes, guys. Don't worry, everybody's friends. Milo is right there. Kibo is right there. Bear is right there. And Hydrox is over there meowing. So the whole fur family is here. And it's all good. I'm glad you're here too. Waiting, the fundamental attunement to natural rhythms. Waiting is an active state of awareness. I'll say that again. Waiting is an active state of awareness. Waiting binds all forms of life together in the rhythm of life. Wow, thank you, Spirit. Line 1, perseverance. Line 2, inner peace. Line 3, compulsiveness. Line 4, the hunter. Line 5, joy. And line 6, yielding. Fixed rhythms. The fixed pattern is sacred. This is a huge, strong message today coming out. I hope that this is resonating with you, or that I'm really grateful that you guys are here listening to this, being here with this, because like, wow, I'm telling you, like I in the pre-shuffle, I pulled that card out. These messages were coming through, and now they are here loud and clear, right? It's like the natural vivisection, the coming apart of, oh, you know what? I want to read you guys something from, hold on one second, I'm gonna pause it. Okay, I ran over and grabbed the Kabbalion. Excellent book. Highly recommend. It's the 7 Hermetic Principles. It talks about the Hermetic Principles, and they are the constants in the universe and throughout life, right? And the 7 Hermetic Principles, the principles of truth are 7. He who knows these understandingly possesses the magic key before whose touch all the doors open. Oh, all the doors of the temple fly open. I want to read that again. I'm sorry, the lighting here is really bad, and it's in italics. All right. The principles of truth are 7. He who knows these understandingly possesses the key of magic before whose touch all doors of the temple fly open. All right, the 7 Hermetic principles upon which the entire Hermetic philosophy is based are as follows. 1, the principle of mentalism. Everything is a perception of your mind, right? It happens in the mind. Correspondence, right? The 2 is the principle of correspondence. The everything has a correspondence, like something that it relates to, something else that it touches, right? Something else that it goes along with. We'll get into these. I guess we're getting into them now. We haven't even touched tarot. We will, I promise. Thank you for being here. 3, the principle of vibration. And we talk about the vibes, right? And we talk about the frequencies quite often, the healing forks, the atonements, right? Things like that. The things that we do that allow those frequencies to occur. Everything is that vibration, sound, light, all of it, right? The principle of polarity. This is what this is talking about. It's something that, and it's opposite. And everything has its equal and greater and lesser opposite, right? The degrees of it. But so everything has, if there is a degree of heat, it has its opposite in a degree of cold, right? That's just the way things work, north, south, plus, minus, all of that, right? The principle of rhythm. And here we go into that correspondence of the vibration becomes this rhythm of polarities that we are perceiving in our thought and understanding, right? Principle of cause and effect. We understand that this A caused B, B caused C, and somewhere down the line, it was the entire web of weird, right? All of the things intersecting as the Norns weave the universe and fates together, right? That's what that is there. And then the principle of gender. Gender isn't just, the body somebody is born into or the mind that someone understands themselves to be. It is also the in and the out, the exterior of the self, the masculine drive, how we act, how we behave, how we assert, right? And the internal feminine, the quiet space. I keep doing the yin. Yeah. The internal knowing, the bear. Wow. I mean, mama bear, but it's bear. But these 7 principles are what all of everything relates to. They are the truths of the thing, of the world, of us, right? And so it's to say that even in trying times or when we meet opposition within others and ourselves, that is part of the natural flow of things. And it's there for a reason, the stubbornness, perseverance, like working ourselves through it, working with others through it, and understanding that you can't have an intolerance of it. You can't have an intolerance of the people who are different than you or ideas that are different than you. And maybe, hopefully those others can accept that too, so that everybody can just be themselves in the world. And all of those opposite things can simultaneously, can simultaneously occur. Look, it's the giraffe. It says awakening. That is the hanged man. Look at things in a different way and all will make sense. Don't worry if your progress is halted temporarily. Things will start moving again. The waiting. I'm going to take that. This one too. Ooh, 9 of summer. See? Wishes fulfilled, emotional fulfillment. What is in your cup? Who are you sharing it with? Now's the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that is still yet to come. All of the gifts the universe has bestowed upon you and that is waiting to occur at 1444. Now this is talking about those long-term fates, right? Those things that A equals B plus C, cause and effect and the natural rhythm of things. And sometimes things have to come together to fall apart. I'm just going back to the Borg, you know, that fusion, that simulation, assimilation, the hive mind mentality, and being drawn into that larger wave, right? Or maintaining, persevering in the stubbornness and fightingness of your individuality to get your wishes through the end, right? Here, through that opposition, the ability to persevere individual integrity through opposition to detrimental forces, energy necessary to combat fear and know that life is of value, right? To keep going, even when times are looking rough, you know, this is the fixed rhythms and they are sacred. More spirit, got one more. Got two more. We go with that defensiveness. Wow. Princess of Autumn is on the bottom. I say defensiveness because it's 5 of Winter, which is the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Wands. And that is standing on higher ground, holding your stance, defending yourself with high honors because you are standing on higher ground, right? And the 7 of Wands and the 5 of Wands or 5 of Swords is winning at all costs. It's the fighter. There it is. It's some thing going on, but how are we doing that? How are you maintaining? It's like people coming at you, issues coming at you, time coming at you, and you are standing on higher ground. It's like the fire and the flame here. And on the bottom, it's the Princess of Winter. It talks about going very slowly and being in that student mind and being at a pace. The Page of Pentacles becomes the Emperor, and I know that seems counterintuitive because this is an Earth energy, and the Emperor is a fire energy. But he is he has adapted to and conquered within himself all of the realms. Steadfast, loyal, kind, hardworking, thoughtful, right? And this is that what this energy matures into. So if you maintain yourself in this way through these things, whether they be a trying time, a long-term period, things happening in your life, the way that you're evolving right now, the way that things you're hoping things will be or you wish they were right now, but they aren't quite yet. It's like, be patient and keep learning. Things are still evolving. Story isn't over yet. It's still happening, right? And these are the long-term cycles. And part of that is that fixed state where we have to deal with opposition, or do we become assimilated into the larger wave of the thing? You know, there's a great awakening here. Everything is going to start to make sense to you. It's like maintaining that personal integrity. If anybody is going to do that, this energy is going to do that. And it isn't a forceful, you know, taking the lead energy is 1616. That's Tower energy. It is, and the Train. This is, you know, a wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion or scholarship, is coming your way. Seize this chance to learn something exciting or start a more rewarding and uplifting career. Look, she's got her hand on the book. This energy is getting there. It's embracing this time of stillness, of opposition, or maybe not stillness, it's like a stagnancy. Right? It says, be assertive, believe in yourself. Don't let anyone take away from you your personal power. Trust your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. Yep. This is about your personal integrity here. And this says, your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert of the hidden agendas of others. Exactly. It's like these two dogs and they're playing a tug of war here, but you're over here in the salamander energy, staying fireproof, up in a space where maybe they can't get to you, you know? And again, it's like this thing about maintaining politeness, like not letting these energies draw you into a space where you are lowering yourself. Hydrox. All right, tell us about this Nine of Summer. It's the Nine of Wands, saying do not give up on your wishes, hopes, and dreams. Do not give up on your emotional fulfillment. Don't forfeit it to be drawn into this fight. Have the awakening. You know, don't let yourself be defeated, because though you're so close to being there. 9-9, almost there, right? Yeah, and exhausted. This can be tiresome. Find a safe space to take a break if you need it, but do not give up, because you are standing on higher ground. And it's like the misunderstanding. There's that if people wanted to understand you, they would at least try. If people are set on not understanding, then they won't, and they'll be stubborn and find every way and reason in the book to not understand, to only see it their way, right? It's like getting drawn in. Don't be that guy. Then don't be that guy. Don't be that person, right? There's this Five of Winter. Maintain, it's a gecko. Maintain, not a salamander, your integrity, your higher ground. Be assertive. Don't let anybody pull you down from that. Look at this. It's the Hierophant. Look at that. He's like getting carried away by this umbrella. Don't let anybody pull you off your mark here. This is Taurus energy. Makes me wonder if you ain't that bull. You know, you're not giving up. You're not gonna let somebody conquer you, and it's making the guy run away. If you're that guy and it's coming after you, how long can you stay in that tree? You gotta, maintain your balance here. This is the rules. This is regulation. This is, like it's governmental institutions, it's religion, it's very spiritual from a standpoint of, traditional. I'm hearing education, and also education. Yes, traditional education, all of those things, commitments, binding rules, the things that, give our lives their moral structure. Right. And you maintaining those things within yourself, not from maybe a dogmatic state, or somebody told you had to be this way, or things had to be on time when they were on time. You're where your moral compass is, and you understand the greater whole. Like, go back to the Hermetic principles, the greater whole, how those things apply, the fixed rhythms that are sacred. Maintaining your integrity through that. And maybe there, Taurus energy coming out. You have Taurus energy out. You have Pisces energy out. Could be anybody. It's about the energies. Could be anything. It's about the energies. How are they behaving? The Lovers. This is Gemini energy. But it's about having a choice here. What and who to partner with for the long term. Gemini is third house. It's about our brothers and sisters, our siblings, right? Our close neighbors, small business, communications. There's people in our immediate community, the people that we have partnerships with on the daily. And who are we, and what are we making the choice to do here? And those are those alliances and those allegiances. And like, what are we alienated from here? Hear that? Skedaddle. And on the bottom, it's the Knight of Cups in the reverse. That's that fragmentation. That's that pulling apart. That's Five of Swords type of the fighter energy, who's going after things, or out of emotional, maybe immaturity, maybe using their emotional immaturity to push buttons in others. Got to watch out for that. Like, what are Whoa. That could really get the Princess of Wand or of Pentacles energy off her course, and you have to maintain solid ground, right? That tabby cat. So this is the opposites that coming through here. What does Ganesha say? Look, understanding. From misunderstanding to understanding, and is that I the perception, right? What are you seeing? How are you seeing it? Is it coming through loud and clear? I think so. Starting to pick up what we're putting down here. Look, spiritual practice. Again, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hierophant energy. What is your spiritual practice? What is keeping you centered through all of this? Right? The elimination of intolerance here. Not letting it like get to the constitution of you, understanding this is just part of the cycle. This too shall pass. And it's about not being drawn into the toxicities of it, not being, in the opposition, like fighting in the opposition, fighting to maintain yourself and your integrity. But if somebody's coming at you, be assertive, defend yourself. My dad used to say, you don't start fights, but if you got to, you end it. You got to end it. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't condone fighting in any way, but sometimes you got to put a stop to what people are doing to you. So if there's like some kind of screwy thing happening at work, or some kind of strange thing happening in a relationship or in a family dynamic or something of the like, you don't need to just sit there and take it. You can stand up for yourself, but don't think that you're going to change the opposition because they're the opposite. And that's actually necessary in the world. It's just about how are we coexisting. Can we have one more, please, Ganesha? One more. Could be actually like, I'm hearing understanding the spiritual practice, understanding that the spiritual practice of some may be what's, like imposing or like proselytizing. Don't do that to people. Let them come to it. Like, like people ask me about this. I advertise, I let you know where I'll be when I'll be there. I put the stuff out there, but I'm not up in people's faces about it, because if they would like this information, if they would like these messages, if you are here and you're still here, thank you so much. You're here because you want to be. And we're having a communal conversation because we want to, but we're not pushing things on other people because we don't like it when people do that to us. It's ineffective. It force meets resistance, right? And that's what this is kind of talking about too. Look, wholeness. Wholeness is the overarching energy. Promise of a future empowerment. Look at that. Promise you things are getting better. Promise you if they're not getting better quite yet, they will. They will come back to the up and up. Maintaining that wish for the future and not giving up. This is a promise of empowerment in the future and reaching wholeness. And again, those two sides together. Now you have the yin and the yang, right? The two sides coming together. The wave, electromagnetism only exists at a 90-degree angle when the two wave fronts are at a 90-degree angle of each other, right? That's how it works. The electric waves, the magnetic waves, electromagnetic waves, right? 90 degrees is it's a square in astrology. It's a difficult angle, right? It's necessary. Those peaks and troughs, those are necessary. Empower yourself through understanding, again, the Hermetic principles. Those who understand these principles hold the key to the magic, where the doors of the temple will fly open. See, wholeness. Wow. All right, we're going to get this card from the Love Who You Are back. The ancestors, spirits, guides. And a little burning's my tummy. Don't be worried, guys. Is there worry? Ancestors, spirits, guides. Gather your nuts. Yeah, all your resources and all your crazies. Like I have all mine around here. And some people don't like it when I say that, but my animals are, and we all are. And I embrace that, that nuts. Like I do. It's accepting what is. And I'm not going to make that kitten sit still. I'm not going to make Hydrox be quiet. You know what I mean? You're not going to force people, like, why? Embrace everybody's kookiness a little bit, as long as we're being kind to one another, or there's like this elimination of intolerance happening here. And again, the resources, or something about like having the resources. Right. I know, buddy. Tend the fragile. What's the matter? It says tend the fragile, and he's talking to a kitten. And on the bottom, float like you mean it. Float like you mean it. All right, let's gather your nuts. Now is the moment for preparation. Look into the details, gather your resources. Your next big move is on the horizon, and now is the time to make sure that your thoughts and feelings align with your vision, and then take action to prepare the way for your manifestations. Just as the squirrel prepares for winter, so can you prepare for this next phase of your journey and all that it will require of you. Preparation stage. It's above spiritual practice here. Don't give up. Your wishes, you are almost there. We've almost reached that point. It's seeing something from a different point of view. The little things. Tend the fragile. Love keeps us close to the ground, where we can feel the pulse of what needs tenderness, nurture, aid. When the world gets too loud, go into the wild silence of nature. Put your ear down to your soul and listen hard. This kind of grounding will nourish you and restore your wings. For when we tend to the delicate longings of our soul, we draw close the love that we truly are. Beautiful. Ooh, I love that. When the world gets too loud, go into the wild silence of nature. Put your ear down to your soul and listen hard. Oh, I love that. And then float like you mean it. Float, flow, let it happen. No feeling is permanent, and no circumstance is forever. Wow, thank you, Spirit. Like the ocean, our reality and our feelings about it are constantly in motion. Now is the time to ride those waves and let it all be. Remember, ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because the water gets inside them. Don't let what's happening around you get inside you and weigh you down. Wow, thank you, Spirit, for bringing it all back into that full circle. Right? Again, into that wave, everything comes back around. Right? That float like you mean it. Don't let yourself be taken don't let it get into you. Like the Borg, right? And they did save Captain Picard, and a few other characters were dissimilated. They were taken out and healed from that experience. So moral of the story is that it is possible if to heal from it. But what's best is to maintain the individualness from it. Maintain your integrity. All right. I hope that was helpful. Wow, that was a lot. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for remembering to hit like and subscribe if it resonated with you. And thank you for coming back and seeing us again next time. Bye.
Transformation in 3, 2, 1.